Did I find it? Spoilers, I found it. Yay, I was right! I did found it, Mommy. I did. They stepped out of the captain's quarters and into another hallway. The hallway stretched out in front of Junpei for a bit before turning left like a great backward L. Junpei rounded the corner and took off down the straightaway. He ran. He ran so far, ran all night and day. He just ran. Couldn't get away. At the end of the hallway was a door. He made a straight for it. He was nearly halfway to it when he noticed a piece of paper in the middle of the floor. What was a piece of paper doing in the middle of the hallway? Junpei skidded to a halt. He dropped down to his hands and knees and quickly tore the paper off of the floor. Not that he had a chance to examine it more closely. It was clear that it was a map. Now that he had a chance to examine it more closely. More specifically, a map of the ship's interior for the ADAC. What's wrong? Ace, slightly slower by virtue of his advanced age, that's one way of putting it, had finally caught up to Junpei. Junpei said nothing, simply showed Ace what he had found. He looked at it long enough to determine what it was and nodded. I see. With that, he began running again, past Junpei. Junpei shoved the map into his pocket and got up to follow Ace. But something stopped him. Clover. Hey, where's Clover? He turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen. What? The hell is she up to? No, Clover, you're the only one I care about. Junpei muttered angrily under his breath and took off back the way he'd come. I guess what I should be saying is she's the one I care about more than anyone else. Maybe not the only one, but as he stopped around the corner, he saw her. She was standing in front of the door to the captain's quarters, her hand on the doorknob. As Junpei watched, she closed it gently and quietly. The hell are you doing? Nothing. What do you mean, nothing? Clover had unconsciously put her hands over the pockets of her jacket as if trying to hide something. What the hell is that? What? You've got something in your pocket. What is it? Oh, this? This is... a note. A note? Yeah. I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes. It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something. The hell? Let me see it. But Junpei wasn't going to get to see it. From the other end of the hall, he heard Ace's voice. Hey, Junpei! Clover! What are you two doing? Hurry up! Clover shrugged. I'll show it to you later, alright? Come on, we gotta hurry. Before Junpei could protest, she was gone. Oh, jeez. Round the corner and off down the long stem of the L. A note? A note. Junpei was curious. But there was something else that bothered him. Her pocket had been bulging, far more than it would from just a note. She was probably hiding something else, too. I actually want to ask her about something, because I remember, I didn't really bring it up at the time, because I wasn't thinking about it, but she said one person died the last time that this happened, right? But just one person? Does that mean everyone can get out? Like, that's what I want to ask her about, really. But also, because she's been in this game before, it probably means she knows what the deal is, and if that's the case, and she is hiding stuff, then maybe it's important to keep stuff to yourself, which, would mean that not everyone can get out, except then how would only one person die? I don't know. Junpei did his best to convince himself that it would make sense later and ran off after Clover. Junpei pushed through the door and found himself in a large room with a large set of stairs. Oh, hey! We're back! It was just what he'd expected to see after reading the map. I see after reading the map himself meant that Ace had probably realized the same thing. Junpei looked around, but Ace was nowhere to be seen. He put his hand on the handrail and leaned over to look down. There he was. And not just Ace. Santa, June, Seven, and Lotus as well. Junpei and Clover glanced at each other and hurried down the stairs. They reached B-Deck at the same time. Jumpy! Clover! Why do you look angry? June's face was excited. Something had happened, that much Junpei could tell by simply looking at her. What's up? Given their situation, he was not inclined to be excited about sudden developments. June, however, couldn't contain herself. We found it! Found what? The 9 door? Found what? We found it. What did you find? The last... Oh my god, they found the... Oh my god, what? No, it can't be that simple. Can it? No, it's a trap. It's gotta be a trap. It's supposed to be hidden, right? Did you even... There's supposed to be one door we haven't even gone through, right? Like, before the 9 door. There's gotta be something more. Plus the library, like... There's no way. We found door 9. What? This is so much bullshit. It's a trap? Like, Admiral Akbar here... It's a trap! Like, there's no way. For one thing, there's one door that hasn't even been explored yet. For another thing, we haven't went to the library yet. For a third thing, we don't know where Snake is. There's no way this is it. And, Zero said the door is hidden. Then, if the 9 door is hidden, there's no way you could have found it that easily. Come on, just follow us. I need to see this to believe it. We'll explain on the way. Okay, let's go. I gotta see this. Seven turned and jogged off down the stairs. The rest followed. We finally made it. The relief and excitement in her voice echoed what each one of them felt. You're not gonna be that excited when you realize 2 of us have to stay behind. If this is actually the 9 door and everything works the way it is. There's no way. There's no way this is over yet. Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe they'd really done it. At least not just yet. There's no way this is over. If everyone said that it was door 9, then it probably was. He could feel his heart racing. I don't think it is. I haven't seen it yet, but if it's hidden, and, like, they didn't have Ace or Snake with them, I doubt they were clever enough to find it. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins. He could feel his legs shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny that the prospect of escape was an exciting one. There's one thing he couldn't get off his mind. The numbered door could only accommodate between 3 and 5 people. There were 7 of them on their way to door 9. That meant that even in the best case scenario, there'd be 2 of them who would have to stay behind. 2 people. He didn't have any solutions to that problem yet, but he was desperately hoping one would present itself. Junpei looked over at the clock. The hands indicated that it was 4:30. They had 90 minutes before their time was up. Maybe this really is coming up on the end, but there's no way it's over just yet. There's so much stuff unexplored. Like, there's one door we never even looked in. There's the key card we haven't used yet. We don't know where Snake is. We don't know who Zero is. We don't know why we're even trapped here. Well, I mean, we kind of do. It's like an experiment, right? But is it really that simple? Like what's going... Oh, there's so many unanswered questions. Hey! Junpei! June! What the hell are you 2 doing? Hurry it up! Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie. Let's go, Jumpy. I guess it's, but I should probably stop, denying it already, and let's just get to the door and see it for ourselves. June took off down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could. Junpei followed. It's down below? As a group, they piled onto the elevator and round impatiently down to E-Deck Road. It looked familiar, because we'd been down there before. There was a metal grate between the 2 elevators. Seven grabbed hold of it and began to talk. I know I told you I'd explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split off from you guys, the 4 of us got into the elevator on the left. And that took us to the other side of the grate. After that, they headed down another hallway. It took them toward the bow of the ship, and eventually to the number 6 that Junpei and June had found earlier. With 4, they'd been able to open the door and keep going. As usual, they'd faced a locked door, but had been forced to complete 2 different areas before they could unlock it. Once they were through the door, there was another hallway that went to the other direction, toward the stern. So on your way, you found the elevator. That's right. So in other words, you kind of did a lap, huh? You came from the side of it. You came from that side to this side. Yeah. With that settled, Junpei looked around. So where's the number 9 door? Over here. Follow me. 7 began walking down the hallway that led toward the stern. Junpei and the others broke into a jog to keep up with him. They'd been walking for a while. June in silence stepped with Junpei when she spoke. You know, it's because of Santa that we're all here right now. What? Huh? That all 7 of us are going to door 9. What do you mean? You don't get it? Santa, 7, and Lotus. What's their digital root? 3 plus 7 plus 8 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Oh! Yeah, that's true. 9. It's 9. That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they'd wanted to. But they didn't. Yes, because Santa wouldn't let them. Oh! Santa! I've been thinking you're just kind of a jerk up until now. You went up so many levels in my book. Wow! You're the one to protest. I kind of thought 7 would be the one to protest. Now, wow. I mean, this whole time I've been thinking like Santa's kind of like, he has like the thug look, but he's kind of like a poser and just hiding the fact that he's not actually that tough, but that's a pretty cool thing. Wow. Not bad, Santa, not bad. He said we can't leave June behind. That's why we went looking for you guys. And then you got on the elevator and went back to the central staircase. That's right. Well, I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would be the one to stick up for you, I mean. Junpei felt his eyebrow knit as he considered that. Oh, don't get me wrong. Perhaps June had sensed Junpei's concern. I don't mean that 7 and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it, and Santa objected to it first. I doubt Lotus would have objected to it. Junpei was about to respond when 7 suddenly stopped. In front of them stood a door. So is this... That's not a 9 door. Junpei couldn't see 7's face, but he could see him nod. There's no other place for us to go? Nope. Just look around. At the end of the hallway was a thick iron wall. To the left and right, other hallways led to the port and starboard sides of the ships, but they were both closed off by thick metal grates. It looked as though 7 was right. The door in front of them was their only choice. Alright, let's get moving. He pulled open the door and walked in. Junpei took a deep breath and followed. It appeared they'd been telling the truth. No way. It's gotta be a trap. The first thing Junpei saw as he entered the room was the number 9. Like all the others, it was a rough thing made of red paint. The door it decorated sat on the back wall of a rectangular room. Junpei ran up to it. It was a large double door with powerful styling. What's the trick here? This definitely isn't the real thing. Like, it can't be. So I don't know what the trick is going to be, but there's definitely something going on. I'm just going to let the game explain. Something about it was almost majestic, and it made the red paint look especially garish. Junpei grabbed the handles and shook. Didn't budge though, but then he hadn't really expected it to. The red was bolted to the wall next to the door. Its display read vacant. Finally they'd arrived. Junpei felt a flood of emotion wash over him. He felt a chill down his back, and his chest tightened even as his blood began to boil. He was about to speak when... Junpei, look behind you. He turned around. Junpei could scarcely believe what he saw. A door and a 9. There was... Oh! Another one! Multiple 9 doors! Ho ho, that's the trick! Zero, you crafty bastard! There's multiple 9 doors, and probably only one of them is correct, and if you go through any of the others, you're like perma-trapped. Hey, what the hell? What the hell is going on here? His words came slowly, and his brain struggled to understand what he'd seen. On shaky legs, he made his way to the second 9. It was a small door, set parallel to the door they'd come through, but in the other corner of the room. 9. There was no mistaking the number, and if any more proof was needed, a red was bolted on the wall near the door. He grabbed the handle and shook the door, not because he expected it to open, but because he had to make sure it was real. Why the hell are there 2 doors? It was Ace who spoke first. Do you think perhaps one is the right door and the other is the wrong one? Lotus was skeptical. I don't know about that. That seems unlikely. What makes you say so? Well, think about all the rooms we've been through so far. They're full of puzzles, but there are always hints about how to solve them. I'm pretty sure there aren't any rooms where we just had to go with our best guess and leave it to instinct to solve the puzzle. Do you really think that at the very end of the game, Zero is going to suddenly throw in something that depends entirely on luck? And you're saying there's some sort of hint in this room? Or maybe in other rooms. There's one door we haven't been in, plus there's the key we just got. No, I don't think there's a hint anywhere in here. I searched it very well when I was in here before. I didn't find anything that might have been a hint, though. Well then, that means... What does that mean? Oh my god. I'm starting to shake. I'm excited. Yeah, both of these are the right door. What? I mean, if you think about it... Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it. There's no way that's the case. I mean, if there's 2 9 doors, and they both lead outside, then potentially everyone can get out, I guess. Well, can they? I don't even know if that's... Well, not everyone, but more people can get out. Like, for example, I was thinking about it off screen. Right now, our digital route is 7, because Snake's not with us, right? If we drop 7 off, then with 6 of us, we could all get out. Because we could make 2 groups of 9. The exit is hidden, but is there. Seek the exit. Seek the door that carries a 9. Junpei began to mutter to himself. So if there are 2 number 9 doors, if we split it up right, that's not gonna work. Junpei blinked and looked up at Clover. Yeah, because the reason it's not gonna work is because, you know, everything's based on 9s. If there's 2 9s, then what it means is that, like, if we drop 7 from our group, we can get out. If 2 is in our group, if Snake was in our group, we can get out. She held out her hand. You've got a notebook and a pen, right? Can I borrow them? Slightly confused, he pulled them out and handed them to her. 7 is the problem. Look at this. It's because Snake isn't here. Clover opened the notebook to a blank page and set it down on the desk. Everyone else gathered around her and watched as she wrote down a series of numbers. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. 4 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals 25. You get it? The numbers on the top are all the combinations with digital roots of 9. The numbers on the bottom are the people who don't fit. There are only 8 possibilities if we split into 2 groups of 3 and 4 or 4 people. So, if 3 people go through the door, then 4 are left behind. If 4 go through, then 3 are left behind. Right? Clover nodded, almost as if she were pleased with herself for solving a difficult math problem. The room went very quiet. Silence lay across everyone like a thick, heavy blanket. I hate to be the elephant in the room that mentions if we leave 7 behind, 2 groups of 3 works, but it does, and that's because Snake's not here. If we can find Snake, everyone could potentially get out. Potentially. No one spoke. Their faces were blank. Desperate for something else to look at, Junpei turned his eyes to the room around him. As he did, he began to wonder. What was it? The walls were covered with candles. The wavering flame made the shadows of Junpei and his companions look as though they were dancing. 2 rows of wooden pews? Chair-type things filled most of the room. Between them was a strip of rich red carpet. The carpet ran straight through the room, ending at the door that pointed to the stern of the boat. At the other end of the carpet, an altar? It was a recessed space set into the wall between the 2 other doors. Sitting on a raised section of the altar was a coffin? A coffin? That's not Alice, is it? I mean, when you think about it... In fact, there's a number code on that. But what about the library and the other... We gotta go there at some point, right? Like... A coffin. A coffin. A coffin. No, it couldn't possibly be. But if it wasn't, then whose body occupied it? That was as far as Junpei wanted to pursue that line of thought. He decided not to think about the coffin for the time being. That moment, 7 spoke. There was an edge of humor to his voice, but it was forced. Okay. I give up, I give up. I figure if we sat around here long enough, someone would volunteer, but guess nobody's got the guts to it. Junpei didn't understand, he wasn't the only one. What? You guys didn't figure it out yet? Ugh, fine. Let me enlighten you. Clover was mostly right with her little explanation earlier, but she missed something. She wasn't really wrong, she just... screw it. Let me just write it out. 7 snatched up the notebook and began to write in it. Everyone else clustered around him, desperate for a look. You're trying to leave with a group of 3 and a group of 4 and get everyone out. Clover's right. But there's another way. Only one combination, though. Yeah. Ouch. If you split us up into groups of 3, 3, and 1, you can make this combination. Wait. This means... Don't get me wrong here. I'm not trying to copy Ace or anything like that. Even if he hadn't been the hero back in the big hospital room, I'd still be saying the same thing. The same thing? Are you saying... Yeah, I am. I'll stay behind. Dun 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 dun! Why are you acting so heroic all of a sudden? Why do you care all of a sudden? Are you some kind of idiot? Lotus was the first to speak. That in itself was a little strange. She'd reacted much differently when Ace had volunteered. I'm completely against this. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have to owe you for getting out of here. The rest of them began to speak all at once. I'm against it too. I don't want to leave Ace behind. Didn't want to leave Ace behind, and I don't want to leave you either. I don't like that idea. There's got to be other options. I disagree as well. I can't say I care much for you being the hero. Finally, they quieted down. Junpei looked at 7. Well, there you go, 7. Proposal denied. Clover's right. There's got to be a better way than this. So, are we going to spill the beans that Snake could still be alive somewhere and start looking for him? 7 made some noise that was somewhere between a derisive snort and a cough. Doesn't make any sense. He was doing his best to pretend they were making a foolish decision, but Junpei could see the twinkling of water at the corner of 7's eyes. Aww! That was when Santa spoke. Well, hold on a minute. I haven't said anything yet. Until then, Junpei hadn't realized that Santa had stayed quiet for the whole discussion of 7's fate. Something in his voice made Junpei uncomfortable. Are you agreeing? You want to leave him here? Santa shook his head. Nah. I'm against it. I don't want to leave 7 here alone. Then I don't see how it matters. I said alone. Eh? I said I don't want to leave 7 alone. There was a dull shine in Santa's eyes. They were cold and hard. Junpei felt himself shiver. What the hell are you? What, you don't get it? I can't leave just one person. I need 2 more. 3 people, including 7. I'll be leaving behind 3 people. What? What the hell are you saying? That's my proposal. No. Those are my orders. What? Who are you? What are you? Why are you? What? What do you mean, orders? The hell makes you think you can order us around? Who the hell's gonna listen to you? You all will. In 3 seconds, you won't have a choice. What's going on here? Santa's evil? What? Didn't actually see this coming. I kinda thought it was Ace. What? What? 3, 2... I don't think this makes him 0, but what's going on? He has been in the game before, right? Clover was talking about it, right? If he knows those 4 words, whatever that means. 1? Santa was so fast, Junpei could barely see him. When he moved, it was almost like watching a dance. His feet moving like lightning. He spun and... Ah! Whoa! What the hell? Why are you leaving 3 people? What? This looks very reminiscent. Hi there. You're evil. I don't think you're 0, but you're evil in some fashion. Why are you leaving 3 people? Huh? See? Okay, time to get maniacal on him. I told you. His lips curled into a cruel, mocking smile. A shudder traveled the length of Junpei's spine. So why exactly is it you didn't want to leave June behind? I'm starting to get kind of bad vibes from you. Quite bad vibes, in fact. His chest froze and he could feel his breath go stale in his lungs. Nothing made sense. Junpei felt as though his head were about to explode. Where the hell did that gun come from? Santa's sudden change in attitude, saying that he needed 2 more. The gun in his right hand, a revolver. Santa had grabbed June from behind and pressed what Junpei's shaken brain identifies a revolver roughly against her temple. You know, remember earlier when we thought Snake died, and no matter what the combination of people that killed Snake was, Santa was always involved? I was like, well, I mean, that's too obvious, but... And in the end, we found out that Snake is either alive, or that's not him, either way. If he's dead, he's somewhere else. But... this... I didn't expect this! What's he doing with a gun? Where on earth had Santa possibly found a gun? Junpei's questions roared in his mind, but his mouth refused to ask them. 7 spoke, almost as though he had sensed Junpei's confusion. The gun's from the other room. What room? One of the rooms behind door 6. I should have known he was going to do this. I should have taken the gun. Well, it's too late now, fat ass. Damn it! A mixture of fury and frustration twisted 7's face, and he glared at Santa. What the hell is going on here? I am so confused. I don't know what's going on. I just slapped the cow. Santa, for his part, didn't so much as flinch. The corner of his lip twitched into a slightly wider smile. Then the smile faded and he began to move. He walked backward, dragging June with him. Before long, his back was resting against the door. Which one? On the wall next to him was the red. He put his hand on the scanner panel quickly and forced June to do this. Honestly, I kind of thought someone was probably going to do this. Someone was going to get kind of twisted when we got to this point. But I was so busy thinking about one of us being 0 and who it might be that I hadn't even that I kind of forgot that someone other than 0 could just be planning to do something evil. This is... So yeah, he did it and then June did the same. Okay. Like, why June, though? Why does he want to save June? Well, 3 and 6 is 9. That means he needs either 1 and 8 or 4 and 5. Time for you to start following my orders. Ace, Lotus, congratulations. I've chosen you to come with me. Oh, great. You like me so much. I'm so glad. Put your hands on the red. 3 plus 6 plus 1 plus 8 equals 18. That was what Santa had meant when he needed 2 more. Hey, you deaf? I gave you an order. Santa's eyes narrowed to slits. He glared at Ace and Lotus. They stayed, frozen, like deer caught in the headlights of an oncoming car. Right. Fine. I didn't want to waste any bullets, but you guys just don't... No, don't shoot her, don't shoot her, don't shoot her. No sooner were the words out of Santa's mouth than his hand twitched. No! No, there's no way, no way. A section of the floor... Okay. I thought for a second June was about to die. A section of the floor exploded, scattering wooden splinters across the floor. A thin plume of smoke snaked out of the hole in the floor. There could be no doubt that the gun was real and worked. But why? Santa, why are you... Clover's voice spoke of betrayal and disbelief. Oh yeah, that's right, he was in the game before, right? But like, I don't get it, did only 5 people make it out that time too? I mean, she said that something was I don't remember what it was, but apparently she didn't know the other people in the game. Like, the way hers worked was different, I think. But, and she was was Santa on the boat, or was he in the place with Clover? Because, like, I didn't even fully get that. Clover was in, like, what, Nevada, or whatever that was? I don't know. Santa, I thought you were one of us. I thought we were friends. What? You knew about the leaf word, and the 4-leaf clover. Santa's cheek twitched almost imperceptibly. The hell is that shit? I've got no idea. You're lying. Shut up! Just shut up, you stupid bitch! You want me to put a bullet in your fucking head? What is going on? Flurks of spit flew from Santa's mouth, his face twisted with rage. Ah! Clover recoiled, her eyes wide when she spoke. Her voice was very small. Santa! He snorted, then shook his head vigorously and turned to face Ace and Lotus. Alright, assholes. What are you still standing there for? Get over here and scan those bracelets. I don't have all day. He's being used. It's just like the 9th man. He knew those 4 words because someone told him, I think. Like, I don't think he was on the other... I don't think he was in the previous game. I mean, it's possible, but it seems like he's just being used right now. What is the whole truth? Like, I don't know. Could Snake be the whole mastermind? That seems too obvious. What's the matter? You're here and starting to go? Going senile, maybe? Ace and Lotus still didn't move. It almost seemed as if they couldn't move. June's face was pale behind Santa's arm. Her eyes were wild, and her chest heaved with every quick breath, like an animal cornered by a predator. Junpei's mind worked furiously. What were they going to do? Then he realized something. There was nothing they needed to do. There was nothing to debate. June's safety was the first priority. That much was obvious, to Junpei maybe. Doing as Santa had commanded meant that she would be safe from at least 2 threats. She wouldn't be shot, and she would leave the ship alive, along with Santa, Ace, and Lotus. There's only one thing for Junpei to do. He turned to Ace and Lotus. Please, go. Huh? But... Jumpy? What are you saying? If you stay here, you're gonna be stuck, Jumpy. And so will Clover and Seven. I know. But you don't need to worry about us. We'll figure something out. Right, Seven? Right. You just leave it to us. Besides that, I mean, right now me and Clover are the only ones who know that Snake is alive, I'm pretty sure, but, or at least he's not the dead body we found. So there's still a chance, but still, are these 4 characters really just gonna exit the ship right now? That's too easy. It's gonna piss me off to do what Santa says, but don't worry about me either. There's still something I have to take care of. But No! You can't! Ace! Lotus! Don't do it! Don't worry about me! Please! June was almost crying. Junpei walked around behind Ace and Lotus. Without a word, he laid a hand on each of their backs and gently pushed them forward. They almost stumbled, then rightened themselves and took another step and another. They turned around and Junpei nodded. Ace and Lotus turned around again and walked slowly toward the door where Santa was waiting for them. After it seemed like an eternity, they stopped in front of the door marked 9. Santa smiled. Oh, and by the way, Santa did say earlier, and I knew this was probably gonna... I thought this was talking about June, and maybe it still is. But, he said the one who might trust you trust the most might end up stabbing you in the back. And in the end, he stabbed everyone else in the back. Alright, now let's get those hands on the scanner panel. What's the holdup? What, you think I'm fucking around here? Don't give a shit about the girl. The red doesn't need a person, you know. All I need is the bracelet. You sound so much like the 9th man that I just feel like this is just going to be another one of those things where you were just used and you die. Which would be great, but, I don't get it. Why did you need to wait for June? Why did you need to wait to get June? That doesn't make sense. You got it? Good. Now put your fucking hands on the scanner. Okay, here's what my theory is right now. Because there's no way he would have just waited for June. He would have just, like, used the gun and said, okay, everyone, let's do this. And not bothered waiting. I don't know. I think secretly, maybe Santa maybe actually is a good guy, and he's just doing this because he has to. Maybe he wasn't, because he was in the game before. Maybe there is a way for everyone to get out. Maybe the 2 doors are real, and maybe he knows this. But for some reason, he's just doing this to force things along. I don't know. I can only guess at this point. I'm not gonna say it again. He shoved the revolver harder against June's head, and she winced. Fine. Ace sighed, defeated, and placed his hand on the scanner panel. This has happened to you before, hasn't it? Must kind of suck. Lotus was next. Lotus glared at Santa and slammed her hand on the scanner panel. The 4th asterisk blinked on. Good job. Now Lotus, pull that lever. Soon as the door opens, you get your ass in there. Try anything stupid and you know what happens, right? Junpei could almost hear Lotus's teeth grind. God, something's about to go down. What's gonna go down? Oh my gosh! The door slid open. Door number 9 opened at last. It opened with a low, powerful rumble, a drum roll to welcome the chosen few. Alright, go! Lotus and Ace walked through the door, their eyes furious but defeated. Santa waited until they were all the way inside, then hauled himself and June across the threshold as well. 6, 7, 8... Later. After exactly 9 seconds, the door swung shut. The gust of air it created caused the candles of the altar to flicker and die. Still so many unanswered questions. Who was the one who fixed the scanner panels with 3, 7, and 8? Who was the one who tricked the 9th man? What's going on with Snake? What was that corpse if it wasn't Snake's? Ugh. And that coffin. The room fell silent. Junpei, Clover, and Seven had been left behind. Clover looked down at her hand and traced with her fingers the faint blue veins that crisscrossed them. Ooh boy. Man! What's gonna happen next? What are we gonna do? Seven shoved his arms into the front of his overalls and scratched his stomach. No one spoke. Silence made the air feel thick and oppressive. Desperate for something, anything to occupy his mind, Junpei walked to the larger of the 2, 9 doors. He stood in front of it and looked at the red. I still don't get it. What's the point of him waiting for June? Does he have a crush on June? Or, like, I don't get it. Ugh. It read engaged. He can't just care about himself, otherwise there would have been no reason. But what was it? I don't know. He moved to the smaller door. Still vacant? The red vacant. The red, the digital rule of the remaining people was 7. 5 plus 4 plus 7 equals 16, 1 plus 6 equals 7. There was no possible way for them to open a door with 9 on it. Junpei touched the surface of the door. He thought about June, about Akane Kurashiki. Was she safe? That was all that mattered to him. If she was alive, if she'd escaped this horrible boat, that was what Junpei prayed for. 7 came up next to him. He pulled off his hat, scratched his head, and sighed. So, what do you want to do, Junpei? I want to look for Snake. He's our ticket out of here. What do you mean, what do I want to do? What can we do? Clover, I think it's about time we tell this guy the shit. Because, seriously? 7 opened his mouth to respond when a noise echoed through the room? Someone was pounding on something vigorously? It wasn't mechanical. It was certainly human. Junpei and 7 looked at one another. What the hell is that? Shh. Quiet. Clover motioned to 7 to be quiet. She put one finger to her lips and closed her eyes in concentration. The 3 of them listened, trying to determine where the sound was coming from. Where? Where was it coming from? The coffin? Could it be? Hey, I think it's coming from this coffin. You're right. Let's open it. But how? What are those muscles for? For show? You're telling me to force it open? Shut up and try. Junpei and 7 grabbed hold of the coffin. They tried to get a good grip with what little purchase they could find and pulled with all their strength. Grah! Okay, I'm not in the mood for much yelling. I kind of blew my over-the-top voice on Santa. Damn it! Man, it won't even budge. There's a code. There was some sort of keypad attached to the coffin. Its purpose would not have been difficult to determine. Their eyes are almost immediately drawn to it. Not another one. Yeah, looks like it. Do you think we have to put in the right password or it won't open? I think so. The noise wasn't stopping. In fact, it was getting louder. They had no idea who was in the coffin, but they wanted it out. And they want it out now. Snake? I don't know. That's my only logical guess. They had no idea what they were supposed to do. Without a passcode, it didn't seem like there was a lot they could do. They couldn't even tell how many numbers the passcode needed to be. Isn't there a hint somewhere? Well, let's look for one. I've got an idea. Let's just skip the hint. I've got an idea. You can look. You go look for the hint. And if I get this wrong, I'll go help you. But I'm gonna try Alice / all ice. Unfortunately, there didn't seem to be anything near the coffin. Clover ran to examine the chairs, the pews, and 7 investigated the desk, but they turned up nothing. The sound still wouldn't stop. It wasn't a noise that belonged in the room. What was the passcode? What was Junpei supposed to do? How was he supposed to figure it out? He needed something. Oh my god, what's going on? To be continued? What? They don't mean to be continued in Zero Escape, do they? Because... Am I done the Let's Play? Is there gonna be more? Is the game done? This is awkward. Okay, for now I'm gonna end the part. If there's more, I'm gonna start it up again. So this has been Renegade 68 with the end of 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors? Maybe? Does this really just go to be continued and come back in Zero Escape? I'm gonna Google it. Give me a sec, and by a sec I mean this is the end of the part. Actually, it won't be if there's more left. If I know there's more left after this, then I'll probably do a quick tidbit after this, and there is more. See you tomorrow, or whenever my next video is uploaded. Bye! Okay, so this I'm not sure how I'm gonna splice this, but I just tried pressing the A button. I thought it was gonna do something after the to be continued, but then I just tried pressing the A button on my controller, and it moved forward, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So I stopped it, so I'm not sure what's about to happen. Is this gonna be like a preview for Zero Escape, or is there more to the game, or... I'm gonna press A. Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. You have reached one ending? Okay. Yeah, so there was a bunch of clips there that I kind of didn't bother looking at. So I don't know, like, geez, it looked like there were spoilers in it. I don't know if there were, because I haven't seen more. But, like, unfortunately, I'm saying, what the hell does that mean? You have reached one ending. The game has multiple endings. In order to experience all the endings, you need to save now. Once you've saved, you can restart the game with information you've acquired in this playthrough saved. Once you begin the game again, you can skip through the text you've already seen. Simply press right on the control pad button to fast forward through lines you've already read. Once you reach lines you haven't seen or new choices, it will automatically stop. I guess I'll quickly do that. Memory of Escape has been added on the title screen. Wait, what? Memory of Escape enables you to play the stages you have completed. It is recommended to save after this in order to unlock Memory of Escape. Would you like to keep the information you've gained during this playthrough? The data will be retained in your save file. If you restart the game, it will still start at the beginning. Yes? Okay, this is funky. Wait, what? What is going on? I don't have the slightest clue. So did I beat the game or not? Do I go through a bunch of endings and then it continues, or do I need Zero Escape? I have no idea. Class cabin, second class cabin, kitchen, operating room, chart room, captain's quarters. Preview. What's continue mean? And then begin with memories? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save state. I'm gonna Google this shit. Look up, am I done the game? Is there more after I get all the endings or something? Or do I just need Zero Escape? If I need Zero Escape, oh my god, that's gonna piss me off. You really are just gonna end it like that? Yeah, whoa, hey, no, don't do that. I will be back, question mark?